Hi, I'm Abby, and Chef is gonna help me make dinge.
What is dinge?
Well, it's just basically 3 cans of. It's basically 3 cans. There's a can of black beans. There's a can of diced tomatoes, and then there's a can of corn.
So you got equal parts. These are the little 16-ounce cans, tomatoes, corn, and black beans. Mm-hmm. Okay, so all this goes in there? Mm-hmm. Okay. Dinge. That's kind of a dingy word. We might have to come up with a better name for this one.
Maybe.
How long you been making this?
Well, my dad's been making it most of the time.
Really?
I just...
So this recipe has been passed down through generations, is what you're saying, huh?
Basically.
Okay.
My grandma made it, my dad made it.
And now you're making it.
Mm-hmm. Then my kids are gonna make it.
So that's pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
3 ingredients.
And then, well, there's spices too. And then you can add a little bit of cilantro.
Okay.
Well,
I can do that.
The spice is, this is called adobo. And my dad always puts it in. But I'm making it a little bit differently, putting different spices in too.
Do you use a lot of that? Is it?
It's just...
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
I'm gonna add a little bit of paprika to give it a kick.
Mm-hmm.
And some oregano.
And you want this chopped up then?
Mm-hmm. All that. And then I also add some parsley.
Chef Abby here actually told me earlier to make sure that I set a couple pieces aside for garnish. So that's what these are here for.
And I use red pepper and some salt. And if you haven't seen one of the other videos, this is a salt shooter. You use a whole lot less with that.
It's tough, isn't it?
And it makes it a really fine dust.
Is this chopped up enough?
Mm-hmm. Just put it in.
Okay. Boom.
Yep, just like that.
Okay.
And then you can stir it. And I might add some more spice to it.
Mm-hmm. Do you like that genetically modified corn?
They put chemicals in it.
Yeah, I know. This is not genetically modified corn, by the way. Most of the corn that you eat like this is not genetically modified. The corn that is genetically modified is usually the corn. They always say, here's the thing about genetically modified. You've heard a lot about genetically modified organisms. And everybody's saying, oh, 90% of the corn is genetically modified. Stay away from corn. As long as you're eating fresh corn or whole kernel corn or frozen corn, canned corn.
Organic.
Organic. But you're not going to get GMO corn. Genetically modified corn tastes so horrible that you can't eat it. And the genetically modified corn is the corn that they're using to feed livestock, the corn that they're using for biodiesel fuels. I mean, out of the 90% that they're claiming is genetically modified, only 40% is used for farm animals, 50% is biodiesel fuels. Only 10% of the corn that's actually produced is for human consumption. Yeah, and in order for you to eat that, you would have to blast it with flavor, blast it with chemicals, blast it with everything in order to consume it. So a lot of times when you're getting the manufactured corn, like in chips and these processed foods, then they can use the genetically modified corn and manipulate it through chemicals and flavorings and to make it palatable. But other than that, stuff like this generally for the most part is not genetically modified. So
what I did differently than my dad is, well, he mostly adds only adobo, but most of the time salt and pepper like I did, but I also added paprika, oregano, and parsley.
Okay, okay. So.
And cilantro.
Is this red pepper? That's the red pepper? Paprika, oregano, parsley.
And I've been adding some as it's cooking to make it have a better taste.
Okay. So, and that's it?
Let this cook for a minute or two.
And then what do you do with it? Am I just going to eat it like that?
No, you put some rice underneath it. So let's place this rice.
That's really hot too. And by the way, if you've seen some of my cooking shows, you see how I do these in the freezer. I make them up ahead of time in big batches and then I freeze them. And look at this, it is all ready to go for your dishes. We microwave this for maybe 3 minutes out of the freezer. And yeah, I just hit it for 1 more minute just now to kind of warm it up a little bit. But that way, that fast, and you can microwave it right in the bags. You can take it out of the bags. A lot of times we'll put these in the fridge overnight, so they're already done. And even if you cooked it, you could actually stir it in with a little bit of water, you know, if you're gonna cook it on the pan. But just like this works for me, so.
So I'm gonna turn this on a lower temperature because it's getting.
So it's pretty much done then, huh?
You just gotta stir it a little bit.
Boy, that heated up fast. This is one of those Salad Master pans. They're such good pans. They really conduct heat.
And it doesn't
really
take
good.
a long time either. It takes maybe 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Depends what you put in there.
So yeah, this is one of those, what would they call it? Like a one pot dish?
Or 3-can soup.
Yeah,
stew.
and so you can actually add anything to it and have a meal that's healthy in no time at all.
Let it sit for a moment.
All right, so I can plate this up? Let's do it. Let's plate this thing up here and see what we got. And you want me to just grab it and go to town?
Yep.
So this you want just right over the top, right?
And then I'll.
Oh, it even smells good. Can you smell that?
My dad usually doesn't put paprika in it because it might be too spicy, but I did this time.
Yeah,
And
usually,
I'm gonna put in some cilantro.
usually your paprika is going to give you a smoky flavor. Not as much of a spicy, but it does give you that good smoky flavor.
And like it kind of cooks the cilantro with it too.
Is that enough for you? Or? Okay.
And then you can just put some cilantro leaves on here for design.
And of course, I always have my towel so I can kind of,
Clean off the plate.
to make it really nice and presentable. Okay, and put a piece right on top like that.
And then a little piece on the side.
Beautiful. Healthy food in what? In just a couple minutes? Especially when you have your rice already prepared.
And you can already put, and you can also put some cilantro on like the sides to make it taste better on every side.
This would be a nice dinner, just a nice, simple, light dinner.
My dad does it all the time for dinner.
All right, well, thank you for showing us how to make Dinge, slash whatever name we invent next for it, but it's kind of hard to change a name that went down through family traditions, and it's probably from, could be a European type of a name. A lot of times you get those European names that they would understand it as a different thought process than Americans do, so. But I like it. I'm gonna have to try some of this, and I think I will do that right now, if you don't mind. In fact, that looks so pretty, I'm gonna take a picture of it here in a minute. I'm gonna just try a little bit of this right here. Yes, she's really not this tall. We have her on a platform over here. So just in case you were thinking that, you know, maybe I had been shrinking over the years, and probably eventually it'll be like this. So tell me, Abby, I'll have my little cane here. So tell me, Abby, how's the chef business? Well, amen. Enjoy. We'll have these recipes up on the website for you, and we'll see you next time in the kitchen.